Hey guys, welcome to the after show portion of the Big Apple School podcast. We were just talking about crime, and thank you very much for being part of the private Telegram chat. Definitely share your thoughts, definitely practice your English in the chat. It's a great resource for you. And of course, check out the vocabulary lists. So let's continue on with the after show portion here. We were talking about crime. Have any of you ever been to court? Can you watch court trials in Russia?
I don't know if you can watch them. I mean, sometimes they show them on TV if it's something big. I personally have never been in court, luckily.
Yeah.
And I hope I never will.
In America, you can watch trials. Some
of them you can watch.
Some of them, in Turkey too.
Binge watch.
They're amazing. They're so fun. When I went to university, I lived nearby a court for my last year of university. And when I needed a break, I think it was only 2 or 3 times, I went to the courthouse to watch a trial. You'd have
Very interesting pastime.
You have a different day.
But I lived right next to the court, so it was really, convenient.
Yeah, let's go to court and watch some hearings.
And I watched this really funny little trial. I was sad, but it was funny at the same time. And,
funny when talking about.
It was actually quite sad, but it was also
funny.
It was a little bit funny as well. And you had to go for a metal detector and everything. This trial I watched was between this son and his mother. It was sad, but they were both in wheelchairs. And the son beat up his mum because she stole his cigarettes from him. And it was just
bizarre.
I couldn't stop watching it. It was so interesting, and I felt really sad for them, but at the same time, this is fascinating. And and
okay,
give back my ciggies.
I watched it. Yeah, I can't remember what happened, but yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the mum had to pay back the cigarettes. But I don't think he really beat her up. I think he just slapped her or something. I don't know.
Well,
but still bad, terrible,
course,
but same time. It made amazing TV, but I wasn't watching it on TV. I was watching it live. And yeah, well, I know you watched the trial of
Johnny Depp. Yeah, I did. That's so embarrassing to bring that up again.
I'm sorry. I watched a lot of it too. Don't be embarrassed. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was.
But some crime. There was something that happened several years ago where a jilted woman gunned down her lover in a daycare parking lot, and one of them was possessed by a devil. And I watched that thing for days and days on end.
It's kind of an interesting
what
scenario.
Why are such morbid things so fascinating? Why? I mean, maybe
I don't know.
Is it just me? Do you like watching morbid, horrible crime shows? It is just
human
me.
nature.
No, it's not just you. No, it's these situations when I've seen many reels on this topic. When you look at a girl, let's say, and she's peacefully listening, and you're like, oh, look at her listening to her favorite podcast or something, and then it's he brutally murdered her by ripping out her eyes, and the girl's like, yeah, nice show. There's even a podcast actually, which my friend used to listen to called My Favorite Murder, where they talk about the real murders happening in the US.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, you could ask me to tell you about any murderer and I could tell you.
Yeah, I remember we talked about Jeffrey Dahmer,
Jeffrey Dahmer,
some time ago.
One of my favorites.
For people learning English, there are so many crime documentaries and crime shows and police shows. You have no excuse not to learn English.
It is a wonder, why people are so attracted to it. Because we all are, and when you start watching something, you can't stop. There's something, gritting about it.
You just feel yourself safe and seeing that thing. It happened to someone else, not you, and maybe you feel like a comfort.
It was the different aspects of humans, and it's been looked at and written about since ancient Greek times. What is justice? What is right? What is weird? It's just our nature. Yeah, the dark side, I guess.
And curiosity.
So you like the podcast, What's Your Favorite Murder?
No. I didn't. It's my friend's favorite podcast.
Or what's your favorite crime show that you like to watch?
I like when it's not violent. It doesn't act out or reenact the violence, but it just shows the intrigue of what happened.
Are we talking about fiction as well?
Or serious?
No, like non-fiction.
The reality shows, you mean?
I don't think I watch any, actually.
Jerry Spring? What was that?
Oh, Jerry Springer is actually kind of fiction, isn't it? It's fiction.
Yeah.
Like, I don't watch much of non-fiction, to be honest. There's only one... Okay, it's going to sound weird, but I follow one profile on Instagram, which is not really about crimes or something, but it's a person who posts videos of how they clean crime scenes and like all these decomposition.
Yeah,
you know, like they call it decomp juices and everything, and all the maggots and everything, and they show how they clean it all and what it looks like.
You can volunteer for that. You can volunteer. You can volunteer your body, which I think would be great. You can volunteer your body. It's called a body farm, and scientists come and they take record of what stage of decomposition. Decomposition.
I have another plan for my dead body, but
yeah.
How to research.
Yeah.
You can become a rose bush. You know that?
Eventually.
No, I mean, it really is. There is like in Scandinavia, instead of cremation, they actually do this thing when they put the body in a certain solution, and in the end, you have like a handful of fertilizer. So they add it upon your request, you know, let's say in your will, to a bag of like flower seeds or something. So you do become a tree or a rose bush, for example.
You're going to bloom.
You're going to bloom. Yeah, you're going to get back to Mother Earth. I also have another plan, which I'm jokingly say to my fiancés, like, because I'm joking that they're going to die before me. So I'm like, I'm going to cremate you, and there is now a way to make a diamond out of ash. I'm going to wear you as a diamond on my finger.
Make a fur coat out.
My mom, before she died, she said, "Oh, just cremate me and throw my ashes and let the dog piss on it."
Oh, funny.
Oh, that's okay. Very visual, but okay. But yeah. But Benjamin, do you have any sort of like favorite true crime show?
I have to say, it's called To Catch a Predator. Dateline Embassy.
Right.
Do you know this show, Varia?
Good show.
You like it too.
Show.
Yeah, I'm happy that you like it too. Chris Hansen he's a really good presenter, NBC in America, and he basically catches pedophiles, and it's amazing. So he lures in. When I say lure, it means like to attract pedophiles by pretending to be a little child.
Like a bait.
He doesn't do it himself. He has actors and actresses who deal with this. And then he rents houses in random parts of the country, and he gets these actors to pretend to be 12-year-olds or younger even sometimes. And these weirdos just come from all over the country.
Show up with
they come to the houses.
Something to be ready for their date.
Yeah. And then they come into the house and they speak to this actor who looks young and dresses young. And then all of a sudden, Chris Hansen comes into the room.
What are you doing here?
He says, have a seat.
We need to talk.
And sometimes they recognize him as Chris Hansen. It's like, oh my God, I'm on the show.
It has happened. One of the most amazing episodes was when, Chris Hansen I believe he lived in Long Island at some point in New York. And there's the Long Island Express, the train, which goes from the Long Island stations to Manhattan. And he met someone on the train, and he was like a professional, some financial, I don't know. He was in some white collar job.
Okay.
And this guy ended up on the show. And he said, I know you from the train.
Oh my goodness.
And this is, my wife and I love watching this show.
But is it still going on? Because I've just watched reruns.
They're mostly reruns.
Yeah.
But I think, Chris Hansen he's never going to stop. I think he has a show called To Catch a Cheetah, which is quite interesting.
They're recording the cheating.
Yeah, cheating. So it's not as
I guess
morbid.
I know that. I guess I know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old concept. I've seen
But
shows.
To Catch a Predator, it's an amazing show and great for your English as well. And your eyes are going to be stuck to the TV because pedophilia is like the worst of the worst crime, in my opinion.
And with the internet, they're able to like start their own kind of gang on the internet. They could share their files and be like supported.
Yeah.
They're not like by themselves like it used to be in the olden days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now it's, you have the whole internet, which makes things so
A community.
horrible. And, but this is so weirdly fascinating. It's just a part of human psychology that I can't really.
It's like the person
understand.
that's okay to hate. You know, it's like I'm right in hating this person.
Yeah, and it just makes you feel sick, but at the same time
Disgusted,
you can't
yeah.
stop watching it.
Yeah.
Sadistic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind
it
of,
is.
There's so many good crime shows, guys. You need to check them out on
There's
YouTube.
one called Lies, I think maybe Cheat, Lies, and Murder. And it's pretty new. I think it's very new, actually. And I see it on YouTube. And I like how they present it. It doesn't show the real violence part of it, but it shows the intrigue of things. Yeah. And then the interviews of the real people. I like that. And then the reenactors.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, guys, you can just ask Benjamin in the chat and he'll send you a whole list of documentaries on the topic.
Yeah, if you need a recommendation, let me know. I'm happy to. For those crime connoisseurs. Please. So another question. Have you guys ever been a victim of a crime?
Yep.
Go on, let's start with you.
Twice.
And maybe we've covered some of these in previous
We
podcasts.
did. What was the podcast on? Oh, scams or something.
Right.
Yeah, I've been a victim of a scam when I paid $400 to a scammer and they never got caught. So yeah, because I was telling the story in one of the podcasts when I wanted to make an appointment at the embassy to get a visa. And the thing is that it was highly competitive time because the embassy in Russia closed down. So, and there are special bots that kind of track the time. And the moment there is an open slot, they take the time. So, and I wanted to do that because it's for money. They usually give guarantees. They just do not give guarantees as to when the slot is going to be. And I thought, okay, yeah, it's worth it because with the first salary I get in the US when I come back, it's going to pay off. So, and I transferred the money. And then 1 week later, I'm like, wait, I didn't get any sort of confirmation. I went back to the chats. Everything had been deleted by then. I'm like, well, guess who's dumb? That was the first time. The second time, well, actually the second time was earlier. It was in 2013. I was a student and I had a job in a bakery. So, and I still remember, one day I was working alone and there were a lot of people and, people don't like waiting. So you got to work fast. And there was a guy, he's like, can I have 2 sandwiches? I'm like, sure. Do you want me to make the new ones? We have some, over here made 15 minutes ago. He's like, yeah, okay, let's pack these ones. You don't need to heat it up. I'm just going to grab them home. And he gives a 5,000 note. And I'm like, okay. So, it looked legit. So all these like foil, that you see on it. And I had 6 other people. So I'm like, okay, moving fast. I give him change, and everything. After everyone's gone, I take the note. I'm like, okay, let me see. And I put it, in the light and there's nothing. I'm like,
oh no.
No.
Horrible.
Sorry.
It rarely happens, but it happened to you.
So yeah, and I had to work 2 weeks for free to kind of pay this back.
That's horrible.
And 2 years later, I was reading, the local news and everything, and there was an article. A guy was imprisoned because he forged money and paid, with them in bakeries. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the guy. And I was like, justice has been served.
Damn. What about Turkey? Have you had any?
I guess we discussed that kind of thing in our one of previous videos or podcasts. So
Yeah.
I had to lose my wallet and cell phone, and 3 guys like attacked at me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and all right, you need to give your wallet and cell phone or else we will stab you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And I had to get like, all right,
Well,
guys,
yeah,
take it
yeah.
easy. All
Wait,
right.
was this in the center of Istanbul?
It was the center of Istanbul, but it was pretty late, like 2 a.m. in the morning or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
So I was alone on the street.
Which kind of made you an easy target.
Yeah, kind of. So I don't know why did they choose me, but I was there like a target. So, all right, money, wallet, everything. And okay, guys, all right, take it easy. I'm going to make it easy for you. So please, I don't want to, and I don't want to get into trouble with that. So, all right, leave it.
So sure.
So that's the best way.
Yeah.
Nothing can be worth more than your life.
Your life, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Has this happened a few times in Turkey?
No,
too?
once.
But would you say Istanbul is generally speaking quite a safe place to live?
It is safe, but it was like 2 a.m.
Don't go alone at night.
Yeah, and
any
I was alone. Yeah, you're right. So I didn't have any kind of backup to shout, "Come, guys! I have a problem. Just help me out." So they were like kind of junkies or something. So they needed money in exchange of drugs or whatever. So they were like blind. So whatever they.
So one thing I've noticed about Novosibirsk, I'm surprised how safe it is here. It's so nice because everyone is safe, generally speaking. I've been around town, many parts of town.
Safe.
It is.
No,
you don't think so?
Yeah, Novosibirsk
It's the
is
third
safe.
dangerous city in Russia.
Yeah,
Let's
but
go
it's
home.
safe.
It's
It's
safe.
you can walk around at night here. It's not. I've walked around at
Depends
night.
on where and.
Oh no, I've walked around Leninsky Rayon at night, and
Why?
it's because my wife's family's from there, and it's. I've not
Well,
experienced
I'm glad
many
to see
problems.
you alive.
Oh, really? That's serious?
Well, it's usually thefts and robberies and muggings.
Mugging's a problem here.
Again, depends on the area. So let's say
not in winter. No one would want to mug anyone in the winter, right?
because
Be
the
sliding on the
temperature is
ice.
so-
and-
Definitely in the 90s, 2000s, I've heard, there was big
in
problems
winter,
here.
the bigger problem is pickpockets in the bus.
Ah.
Because you
so
don't feel,
crowded,
because
huh?
the thing is that you're wearing those coats, you don't feel what is
Feel the-
happening to your bag or your
Who's touching
pockets.
you? Yeah.
Because you are so fluffy like a penguin. So basically, it's pickpocketing easily.
But generally speaking, Russia's pretty safe.
Well, it depends.
Generally
So see,
speaking.
I was recently talking to people from Argentina.
Yeah.
And they're like, everyone thinks of Argentina, oh, look, it's like Latin American country, it's dangerous. But let's say Buenos Aires is relatively safe, and Novosibirsk, according to the statistics, is much more dangerous than Buenos Aires. And the thing is that we were talking with a guy, and he said, see, in Russia, if you ask people, is it safe? When they say yes, or let's say in Argentina, when people say yes, it's safe, that means no crime is going to be committed here. Like none. In Russia, when we say yes, it's safe, that means we are not going to get killed. We have a different definition of safe. So let's say, is Novosibirsk safe? In this regard, yes, you're not going to get killed.
My opinion,
most likely.
London is much more dangerous than Novosibirsk. In my opinion, from my experience, because I've been robbed and mugged at least 10, 15,
Oh my
10, 15
goodness.
times in London. Yeah.
Well, Novosibirsk, see, it's about stealing.
Yeah,
So
stealing.
scammers.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of them.
That's definitely, I've heard, yeah.
About certain areas. So let's say center is safe. You go, let's say the left bank, you do not go to left bank at night.
Right. Do we
Just
have
to
any
know.
kind of like assault with knife or something like happened to me, or it's just stealing and running, hit and run kind of thing?
Both. Depends on the
Depends
area
on the
again,
area.
and depends on people. So recently we have had this situation with drugs as well. So sometimes people, because they do not control themselves,
Yeah, they
when
don't know
they're,
what they're doing.
So yeah.
But it's definitely safer than it used to be in the 90s and the 2000s.
I'm not sure. I don't know about the 90s and 2000s.
So I heard it was like a right mess like then.
Well,
but
I was
now
living
it's-
in Yakutia, and in there was a lot of nationalism, so it was really dangerous if you're Russian to walk at night anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was a totally different region, totally different, situation.
Separate crimes, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, if you go to London, most likely you're going to be fine. But like if you're a teenage boy, you're going to have problems, most likely, if you're like walking around.
I have a
Not even at night. Yeah, go on.
question. So the thing is that when I was living in London, I had no idea which area is safe and not. What about Elephant Castle?
Elephant Castle's a bit ratty. Yeah, stuff can happen over
Because
there.
I was staying there, I was going back home, like at night, and I was like, "What can happen? It's not Russia." And
Yeah.
then people were like, "Are you serious? Like you're not supposed to walk alone
Yeah,
over
stuff
here."
happens. Yeah, but to be honest, London is not really an area thing. It can happen. You can get robbed anywhere in London. That's the problem with London is
Pockets as well.
And scammers. I
Yeah.
remember around Big Ben,
yeah.
there were people like they play game like a ball
yeah,
game.
yeah,
and black
yeah.
ball.
Oh, it's everywhere. Everywhere.
So You get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you need to find the black ball, but there is no black ball in a way. So you just keep paying.
There is one more type of scam when they come to you like, oh, hi, yeah, can you? And then they make a bracelet, and they kind of tie it in and they're like, well, that's it. You cannot untie, so give me money. That happened to me in London. But it was so fun because the guy's like, oh, you got to pay. And I'm like,
oh, so it's more tourists who get...
It's tourists, Because I was just walking, taking a picture. He comes to me like, oh, hi. And immediately there is this sort of bracelet on my hand, on my wrist. And he's like, well, you got to pay now. And I'm like, well, good luck with that. And he's like, well, and I'm like, dude, I literally took out my wallet, opened it, showed it to him. There was nothing in it.
Oh, that's terrible.
So, and he's like, what? I'm like, dude, when I came here, I had 10 pounds. That's all I had to my name. He's like, oh, well, okay, well, have a good day. I'm like, yeah, you too, mate. But really, that was the time when I traveled to London having like 100 pounds, I think. So that's all I had. So I never took the subway. I was just walking and everything. I bought my breakfast in like 99p stores and everything. So yeah, I'm like, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing. And that was kind of,
But you didn't have any like people come to you with a knife and stuff like that?
No, nothing like that.
Because that's the problem with London is the knives. Like I've only been successfully robbed, I don't know, about 3 times.
But I've been
successfully.
I don't want to sound, like not racist, but I was staying in Harlem in New York City. And there is this joke that was going around YouTube for a while that there was a stand-up comedian who said, Russians are the scariest white people. They've earned it, And whenever I thought that I might be in danger, I just used my Russian accent. Yeah. And actually, when people found out you're from Russia, they're like, oh, hey, how are you here and everything? Because you're like...
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, I have another story. May I?
All right,
it happened in Novosibirsk. I was working until very late, until like 10 in school. So it took me another hour to get home, And that was one day, it was pretty late. It was 11 p.m. And there was only one way from the bus stop to my building, to my home. And I was walking and I saw a crowd of guys. They looked like gopniks. So, this tracksuits, probably drunk. And I'm like...
Yeah, the English equivalent in England would be chavs. Or now the word is rude boys.
And we call it keko.
Keko.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, 11 p.m. I'm alone. It's dark. And I was like, damn, there's no other way that I could go. And I was kind of scared. So it was, how do you call this situation? It's all or nothing. So basically either I would pull off, what I wanted to or not. So what I did was I came to them and was like, hi, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I heard that it's kind of dangerous this time of night. Would that be okay if you kind of see me off to my building? I live over there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just really scared because it's late at night. The gentleman side of them immediately turned on. They're like, sure, yeah, go.
Oh.
Yeah,
if anything ever happens, let us know. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because, this is not a safe area. They're like, yeah, anything can happen here. And I was like,
so funny.
So yeah, they just took me, to my building. I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's so funny.
Oh my God. But yeah, it was like either it would work or absolutely not. So I'm just lucky that I just pulled it off. Yeah.
Vara, have you been robbed?
Oh, no, I've never been robbed.
Oh, nice.
No. Well, I've been burglarized, but never robbed. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, because do you say burglarized in America?
It is when they enter your home.
Oh, so you don't say just burglary. You say burglarized.
I was burglarized.
Oh, right.
It was a burglary.
Burglary.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had this brand new computer, and those days it cost only $700, but it was a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a hot summer, Georgia, steamy night, and I had my doors wide open to
so
let
you were in the house.
Yeah, and no, not at the time. No, they could see my computer. That was my mistake. And then the day after, I came home, and it was gone. It was gone, and I thought, oh no, it's because people were walking by and saw.
But then
my
again,
computer.
that's good that you were not in the house.
Oh yes, very good. Yes. So I haven't been in danger. No.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's nice. Yeah. Cool. Well, guys, let us know your mugging stories. Let us know
not
if someone
necessarily mugging.
or any crimes,
Scams.
scam stories. Yeah, practice your English in the chat and let us know what crimes you have been subjected to. We would love to hear. So also check out our website, like I said before, www.BigAppleSchool.com, and yeah, speak to us.
Yay.
So thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
See you around.
Have a wonderful day.
See ya.
Bye for now.